Hello, everybody. How are we doing? For the next couple weeks, called "Where in the World is Spencer's Running?" Because if you're on Strava and you're following me on Strava, really quiet with regards to my running, and the reason for that is because what I thought would be kind of cool is for me to kind of keep you in the loop and walk you through the process of how am I managing and addressing my injury, so that maybe you can learn some things about that process for your own injuries. So kind of what happened. 3 weeks ago now, I coach high school. Oh, you can see my kid stuff in the back. 3 weeks ago now, I coach high school track, or sorry, excuse me, track and cross country. And we're in the cross country season right now, and we're doing a workout. We've got a course at the high school in Fort Atkinson, just on some of the athletic fields. And I was running around, sprinting around there, cheering on some of the kids, getting splits, checking in on them, seeing how things were going. And as I was running, generally I'm doing this because the course, it's a 5,000 meter course with 2 loops, so it's like a mile and a half each, and I've got to sprint across certain areas, and I'm booking it. So as I was running across the field, I felt a little bit of a seize and a little bit of a called like a catch in my calf. I did one of those typical like grab for the calf, and then I just kept going. So I knew it wasn't great when I felt it. Running after that did not feel good. And I was kind of doing that like limp around as most of you've experienced or you can envision. So that was like 3 weeks ago. I took like 5 days or so off because even walking was painful. And you guys know, so if you've worked with me in the past, you know some of the kind of tells that I have and signs for if you can get back into running or if you can't. And being able to jump on one foot is something big. I couldn't do that without pain. And then I like to be able to walk pain free. And I was struggling with that too. I was limping around the house pretty good. So I took a couple days off, continue to work on some rehab things. In next week's video, I'll post kind of my early phase PT process. So like, here's some of the things that I was doing from a PT standpoint, and then we can go into kind of what does my return to run look like and things like that. But I was doing some strengthening exercises, doing some isometric holds. Getting a little bit of stretching and not too much, more compression and strength, kind of just activation through that region, to do some soft tissue work on the calf and the surrounding area. And some of it was like diagnostic, trying to figure out where is the issue. And looks like most of it is like soleus and posterior tib. So kind of the inside of my shin on my left leg, and then a deeper, broader muscle called the soleus that's in the calf. So not like the typical. So the gastrocnemius is what people typically think of as that calf, that nice high ball of calf muscle on the backside. It's not in that region. It's deeper to that, in the soleus and that posterior tib, especially when I'm pointing my toes in is getting some irritation. And that's posterior tib activation through there. So it's one of those things where from a diagnostic standpoint, what do we do? A lot of times we have the saying, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So that's where if we're looking at some muscle tissue, and if we can activate it in a certain region, if we can stretch it in a certain region and you feel it, if you press on that region and it hurts, like, well, that's probably the source of symptoms, right? So I can activate the posterior tibialis, I have pain. I can stretch the posterior tibialis, I have pain. I can press on the posterior tibialis, I have pain. It's probably a limitation and irritation in that region. So that's kind of where I've been recently. So it's 3 weeks ago. I got back into running this week, and like felt okay. So I held things back. I didn't do a run walk, but I did some shorter runs. I did a 20-minute run to start. If you want to follow me on Strava, you can kind of see what things look like. So I did a 20-minute run on Monday last week. Felt okay. So the next day I did a 30-minute run. Didn't feel as great. But I still ran the next day. So this is where, again, PT hat, athlete hat. I was dumb as an athlete. I should have listened to my PT self and taken that Wednesday off, because Tuesday wasn't perfect. I still had a little bit of discomfort when I was running, but it wasn't enough that it it wasn't enough that I thought, oh no, I'll be okay. But from a scale standpoint, it was above a 3 out of 10. So I should have just taken Wednesday off. But then I took Thursday, Friday off, starting to feel better. I actually didn't really feel it at all at the end of the day on Friday. And then Saturday, we had a cross country meet. And one of their coaches and myself were running the course. We typically do like one loop on the course. It's a 2 loop course when we get there, as the kids are walking. And a mile in, it did it again. So I felt that little snap. I felt that catch in the calf, did a little limp, and then all day there, we had 4 races, 2.5 hours of cheering and support to do, and I was running back and forth and didn't feel good then. Didn't feel good yesterday. Today I'm waking up and it's okay. It's not great. So it's going to be one of those where nope, back to the drawing board. I'm going to be doing some strength work and see if I can get back into running it all this week, hopefully. My goal was to make a push to do a 5K race here in Fort Atkinson in November 12th, I believe. Might still do it if I can get back. I'm just not going to run fast. Because it's going to be kind of that quest to break 17, break 16, see how low in the 15s we can get. But it's going to take a little bit of time, and I've first got to get the calf feeling better. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Stay tuned. I'll do a video of like the rehab stuff that I'm doing early in the process, and then transition into kind of later in the process of what things look like from a rehab standpoint for you. So that if you have something like this, you can take some knowledge from here and try to apply a couple of these things to your own injuries, your own rehab. So that's it for now. I'll keep you in the loop, keep you posted with how the leg is feeling and how the running's going. Follow along on through email. We'll post some stuff on Instagram. I'll have this on YouTube, and then you can check me on Strava too if you want to keep an eye on what my running is looking like. So have a good day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.